time, it's okay to be the villain in the made-up story that these people got going on in their mind. Because I'm telling you right now, I'm okay. I'm okay that in your story, I'm the villain. Because you the clown in mine. A whole clown.
She never made it home, not on March 17th, 2024, not after that shift. Jaselyn Lanae Horne had clocked into the cookout on Sunset Road in Northwest Charlotte just hours before. She was 26 years old. She was somebody's mother. She was somebody's firstborn daughter, and she had done everything right that morning. She showed up. That was the last thing she ever did. At around 5 in the morning, while the city slept, while her son slept, Jaselyn was shot inside the restaurant where she worked. She died before help could reach her, and the person who pulled the trigger was someone she had worked beside for months.
So Malik Crosby's arrest today. He's facing first-degree murder charges. Jaselyn Horne died at the restaurant on Sunset Road early Sunday morning. Investigators say she was shot several times.
It was just after 5 in the morning at a cookout restaurant on Sunset Road in Northwest Charlotte, North Carolina. The restaurant had closed for the night. The last customers were long gone. All that was left was the cleaning, the part of the job nobody sees, the part that gets done while the rest of the world is asleep. Somewhere in that kitchen, Jaselyn Lanae Horne had clocked in for her shift. She would never clock out. This is her story, and it begins the way most tragedies do, on an ordinary night that was not supposed to end this way. Jaselyn Horne was her father's firstborn. John Horne remembered her not in headlines or court documents, but in the ordinary things she did every day. She worked, and she worked a lot. Her family described her as an excellent provider, a woman who believed that showing up was the most powerful thing a mother could do. She had a son named 5 years old, and he was the reason she kept going, kept taking long shifts, kept saying yes when the schedule called her name. Avance Bryant, a co-worker who had known Jaselyn for several months, remembered that last night as normal. Everyone was laughing, joking, and in a good mood. Nobody expected what would come next. Northwest Charlotte is a working neighborhood. Sunset Road runs through it with fast food restaurants, small businesses, and a late-night economy that keeps the city running while most people sleep. The cookout on Sunset Road sat less than a block from Bubba's Barbecue, whose owner would later say he was not surprised to hear about a shooting nearby. That same week Jaselyn died, Charlotte teenagers held a town hall on gun violence. One student said she was scared to walk to a fast food restaurant. Another said she was sick of giving flowers to mothers. The meeting opened with a moment of silence for Jaselyn. The shift had started normally. Quaim Hayes, a friend of Jaselyn's, was working that same closing shift. The restaurant closed, the customers left, and what remained was the cleaning. According to witnesses, an argument started over cleaning duties and who was responsible for what. The argument stretched through the quiet of the closed restaurant and through the exhaustion of the end of a long shift. Around 5 in the morning, Hayes stood just a few feet from Jaselyn. He said some words were exchanged, and then he heard 3 gunshots. Everyone ran. Hayes and 2 other employees locked themselves in the bathroom and called emergency services. When they came out, Jaselyn was on the floor. The suspect's name was Malik Crosby. He was 20 years old and had worked at the same cookout alongside Jaselyn for months. Coworkers considered the team like family, but court documents later revealed Jaselyn and Malik had been arguing throughout the shift. What began as a dispute over cleaning duties escalated. Malik cursed at Jaselyn. She threw a pan at him, striking him in the face. He pulled a firearm and shot her 5 times. The cookout had a strict no-weapons policy. Malik Crosby should not have been carrying a gun, but he was, and nobody knew. Everyone assumed the argument would end like others before it. It did not. When police arrived, they checked employee time cards. Every scheduled employee was accounted for except Malik Crosby. Detectives began their investigation using employee records, time card data, and witness statements. Within 24 hours, Crosby was arrested on March 18, 2024, and charged with first-degree murder. He had never been in trouble with the law before. None of that brought Jaselyn home. He was ultimately not convicted of first-degree murder. On October 24, 2024, 7 months after Jaselyn died, Malik Crosby pleaded guilty to voluntary manslaughter. The legal distinction rested on provocation. including the pan that struck his face during the argument. Why he brought a firearm into a workplace that prohibited weapons was never publicly answered. Crosby was sentenced to 51 to 74 months in prison and received credit for time already served. The court noted he had no prior criminal record and had been a working young man. Those facts shaped the sentence, but they did not change what happened. In the courtroom, Jaselyn's father spoke. He said the family forgives Malek Crosby. He said, "We got to stop killing each other. We need to stop it." 7. Jaselyn's 5-year-old son did not understand what had happened. In the week after her death, Charlotte teenagers again gathered to discuss gun violence. They opened with a moment of silence for Jaselyn. North Carolina recorded over 1,400 gun violence deaths in 2023, and Charlotte's homicide rate was among the highest in its history. Malek Crosby will be released. 7 will grow up. The cookout on Sunset Road is still open. Jaselyn Horne went to work. She did not come home. Her father did not ask for vengeance. He asked for something harder. He asked for the violence to stop. Jaselyn Lanae Horne was 26 years old. She was a mother. She was a provider. She was somebody's firstborn daughter. She worked long shifts so that her son could have everything he needed. She showed up every single day. What needs to change so that showing up to work is never this dangerous? If Jaselyn's story moved you, share it. Her name deserves to be remembered.